Well, dessert will be coming shortly, but before we get to dessert, I thought it would be good to do a short history of Vocational Bible College and meet some of our past students and present students and hear from them of what God has been doing in their life. Well, the idea for Vocational Bible College, as many of you will know, actually came in 2005, so 20 years ago, while I was studying at Moore College. I became good friends with Trent. This is a picture of Trent, and he was in my year at Moore College, and we were doing exercise together regularly because we both found the sitting in lectures and all of the reading difficult. So we would exercise together to make it a little bit easier. And in second year, we were exercising together, and we'd just got our Old Testament essays back. And I said to my mate Trent, I said, "Oh, Trent, how did you go in your essay?" He goes, "Oh, I'm not sure." And I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, the lecturer put on my essay, this is a good effort with English as your second language." Except Trent doesn't speak any other language other than English, and unfortunately the lecturer assumed, because his spelling and his grammar wasn't fantastic, that he must be one of the international students studying in our year at Moore College. Well, I said to Trent, "Mate, that's a bit rough." And he goes, "Yeah, it feels like a kick in the guts." And I said, "Mate, why can't we train you for ministry the same way that you learnt your trade?" And he goes, "I don't know, but it would be far better than this." And so that was the beginning of the idea for training people through ministry apprenticeships, through training in the vocational training sector, where you learn by doing as much as listening and reading. So that was in 2005. Over the next few years, I started to share this idea with people, including Peter. And he said, "Well, why don't you give it a crack? Why don't you have a go?" And so in 2009, I spoke to Ben Farlett and said, "I've got this crazy idea to train people for ministry through a ministry apprenticeship with their formal training, part of their apprenticeship." And he said, "I think it sounds like a good idea and I'd be happy for you to come and do it in MTS." And so in 2010, I researched how you might deliver training in the vocational training set. There were some qualifications already written to train people in ministry. I got my certificate in training and assessment, so I'd be accredited to train, and I started to plan out what training, what material, what content we'd have in our course, and started to find some people who might be interested to do it. So in 2011, actually, before we get to that, Ben was really hoping to be here tonight, but he got pneumonia, and so he's recorded a short video about, I suppose, this early start to this training.
G'day friends, my name is Ben Farlett and I have the privilege of serving as the MTS National Director. I'm really sorry I can't be with you at the Vocational Bible College 10-year celebration. What an amazing milestone. I'm just so pleased for you, VBC. I just wanted to say three things. Firstly, congratulations. It's amazing. I've been following this ministry right from the start and so excited about what it's on about. Training ordinary people to do extraordinary things. It's just so wonderful. Secondly, I want to commend the ministry to you. Andrew Beddoe and Andrew and Emma are beautiful, godly Christian people and great leaders. In MTS land, we talk about Christ-like conviction, Christ-like character and ministry competency. This couple, they're just such wonderful, amazing leaders, and I commend them to you and encourage you to get behind them and support them. They've been in it for the long haul and their hearts are in the right place, and it's just wonderful. And thirdly, I think the ministry produces the fruit it says it does. I had the privilege of training John DeLizio as a ministry apprentice over 3 years while he did 1 day a week of the Vocational Bible College, and he did his placement for the rest of the week with me at South Carlton Anglican Church in Sydney. And John has been one of the great fruits of VBC. He's a very, very fine leader doing a church plant south of Wollongong. Friends, again, sorry I can't be with you tonight. I commend the ministry to you and I'm just so delighted. Congratulations, Andrew and Emma. A 10-year birthday. Isn't God great? I'm just so pleased for you. Have a great night, guys. Ciao.
So in 2011, we had our first students. We had 3 students who enrolled to do this Certificate 4 in Christian Ministry and Theology. And so as I taught them, I wrote the training. It was a good way of getting feedback each week on whether it was pitched right and how much content to have in each week. And so over the year, those students did their training. And at the end of the year, they all decided to finish. Here's a couple of them. Matt and Jane were 2 of those 3 students who did the training. And at the end of the year, they went on to do other things. And so in 2012, we had 2 students enroll to do the Certificate 4 in Training and Assessment. Here they are there. I spent some time going and sharing the ministry with Bible college students and going to some conferences to seek to keep raising up more people who might like to do the training. And Fiona Oates started working with me doing some administration, some compliance work to help me with that training. In 2013, those 2 students who'd done the Certificate 4 went on and were keen to do the second year of the training, which was the diploma. And so in 2013, I wrote the diploma as I took those 2 students through it, and 7 students wanted to do the Certificate 4 part-time. All of this training was happening at Fairfield Anglican Church, and so each morning I would ride my bike from Guildford down to Fairfield Church to run the training. In 2013, it was also significant that Jan Vunderlich came on as our compliance officer after Fiona Oates finished up. Jan was very experienced and is very experienced in running training in the vocational training sector, and she was very significant because she helped us start Vocational Bible College. She put the things in place for us to start up our own registered training organisation to run our training. Well, in 2014, we had 10 part-time students doing the training. Some of the faces in that picture are here tonight, which is very encouraging. Michael, who you met earlier, is one of those students. We also started our first satellite campus at Orange Evangelical Church, and they started running the Certificate 4 in Training and Assessment too. In 2015, we were so encouraged by the work that God was doing in the students who were doing the training, the way they were growing in confidence to share their faith with others, the way that they were able to thrive in the training environment that the way that we were training them, and they weren't feeling like my mate Trent, who felt like a square peg in a round hole, that we decided to start Vocational Bible College. That's the first logo that we had. I said, my favourite colour was orange, and so the graphic designer did that with our design. It moved on from that after a little while. It looked a little bit like a black and gold sort of logo, so we went to a red and blue instead. In 2016, some diploma students wanted to go on and do our 3rd year of training, the Advanced Diploma. And so I began writing the Advanced Diploma in Christian Ministry and Theology. Those students were only doing the training part-time, so I was able to develop that program and that training over 2 years rather than 1 year. We also started planning to run the first Reaching Everyday People workshop. And Stephen Hooper joined me to begin helping in doing the training as well, so that I wasn't doing all the training by myself. In 2017, we completed writing the Advanced Diploma in Christian Ministry and Theology. We had a campus start in Campbelltown, at Campbelltown and Appin Anglican Church with Brett Hall, who's here tonight, being one of those trainers. We also started a campus down in Adelaide with the Baptist Church down there and started running training. Things were gaining momentum and things were growing. In 2018, Quakers Hill Anglican Church wanted to start a campus of Vocational Bible College, and Philip Sinden, who's going to be praying for us later, was the trainer who ran the training at Quakers Hill. And some guys involved with a ministry called 20 Schemes in Scotland had come to Australia, and they also started using our training and running our Certificate 4 in Christian Ministry and Theology in Edinburgh, Scotland. And that year as well, Cole Adamson started working as a trainer and assessor in Vocational Bible College as well. Things continuing to grow, and then in the beginning of 2019, we had our first audit post our initial registration. And that audit was gruesome. The auditor on that day in January in 2019 actually wanted us to close us down that very day. And it was the lead or the second auditor who was with him who said, no, I think these guys are trying to do the right thing. You need to give them a chance. It was really, really difficult. And over the next 9 months, we sought to address the areas of rectification that they required. We had outside consultants help us. And after 9 months, the auditor still said, no, we don't think you've done enough to be running training. We'd run out of money. We'd spent a lot of money trying to address audit rectifications. And so we accepted their decision. We had our scope suspended, which meant that we couldn't take any new students on to do accredited training. We could only continue to teach out the students who were already enrolled in our courses. So we did that. We thought maybe God is telling us He doesn't want us to do accredited training because there's lots of money, there's lots of time involved in all of the administration of an accredited course and keeping a government regulator happy. And so we began to focus on non-accredited training. But at the end of 2019, our Adelaide campus closed. They hadn't been able to get enough student numbers to keep it running, and also we weren't going to have accreditation anymore. The Edinburgh campus decided to seek accreditation from another Bible college in the UK. The Quakers Hill campus, after its second year of running, with us losing our accreditation, also closed. But we did have some new centres starting up. So Wagga Wagga Baptist Church and Hastings Baptist Church in New Zealand began running non-accredited training. And so we started to focus our attention on that. In 2020, we finished teaching out our accredited students. John DeLizio, who'd done all the 3 years of our training, was ordained as a deacon in the Sydney Anglican Church without having to do any other study to be ordained. And that was a great fruit for us and great encouragement for us. We continued working on our not-accredited training. I began working on a book called Making Disciples of Everyday People. Coming out of the convictions and the insights that I was learning as I trained everyday people and I spoke to them about what ministry and being part of a local church was like. At the end of 2020, I was also diagnosed with multiple myeloma, an incurable blood cancer. In 2021, we kept delivering training. It was non-accredited. COVID began, and our student numbers were in decline. And it became apparent to us that without accreditation, there wasn't enough credibility to the training that we were doing for students to get employment. And so as a result, our people weren't coming to do training with us, to do non-accredited training. And we could see that there was no long-term future for Vocational Bible College without accreditation. So in 2022, we began looking to see if we could partner with another Christian training organisation to do the training that we wanted to do, that we could share the administration and the compliance costs with another training organisation. But after exploring a number of different opportunities, no suitable partner was found. So in October, we had one other option, was to have our audit from 2019 reassessed. By this stage, we could have a different auditor, and this was a last-ditch effort to keep the ministry going. And so in October 2022, we had our audit reassessed, and within 6 weeks, the auditor had lifted the suspension that we were under and said that we could deliver accredited training again. And so it really did highlight to us that it was this particular order, for whatever reason, didn't want us to keep training, and it wasn't what we were doing that was the problem. Having our suspension lifted in December didn't give us a lot of time to recruit students for 2023, and so we began 2023 with 3 accredited students and continued having a bunch of non-accredited students as well. By the end of 2023, though, we had 10 accredited students, and VBC graduates were recognised to work as commissioned gospel workers in the Presbyterian Church of New South Wales. I also started in 2023 on a clinical trial to treat my myeloma. In 2024, just last year, we started the year with 15 accredited students, so numbers were slowly growing. By the end of 2024, we employed a migrant trainer and assessor, David Shakiti, who's here tonight, to seek to grow our training amongst migrant churches. And my book was also published on our website as a blog. VBC graduates were also given the opportunity to be ordained in the Sydney Anglican Church on a case-by-case basis by Kanishka. In 2025, this year, we've begun with 26 accredited students coming from New South Wales, Victoria, Queensland, Western Australia, Vanuatu and Kenya. And there's a picture of one of our classes with Cole Adamson. We have about 30 non-accredited students. Most of our training now is not happening in a local church, but is happening online. We learned how to do that through COVID when we couldn't meet face-to-face. And because our students are now spread over a wide area, that's the best way to gather everyone for our classes each week. I've also had a complete response to the treatment that I'm having for myeloma and in remission. And so that training will continue to the end of the year and then will cease and I'll just be monitored. The next slide shows the staff team that God has provided for Vocational Bible College. So Nora works in administration 3 days a week. Cole Adamson works a couple of days a week as a trainer and assessor. Peter and Matt work a day a week as trainers. David is working a day a week to communicate with migrant churches about our ministry. And Stephen Hooper, who was the first person to help me with training and assessing, has retired, but he does some casual work for us when our trainers are sick or away. So I'm very thankful for the team that God has raised up, very thankful for where things are now. It feels like we sort of had to restart the ministry at the end of 2023 after things had declined so quickly after we lost our accreditation. But we believed in 2022, just like we believed in 2010 when we started, that the vocational training sector is the place to train everyday Christians for ministry. That's where they can grow in confidence, as you heard Tara share, to share the gospel with their friends, to serve in ministries in their churches. And God has continued to provide through all of the ups and downs, the financial support and the support from Christians that have enabled us to continue persevering and pressing on. So we're really excited about where things are at now, that things are growing and that the opportunities for our students are growing. The number of people who are keen to explore training with us is growing and we're getting growing recognition. So we press on. We're now going to hear from some of the everyday students who've done training with us, and the first is an interview with John Delezio, who also wanted to be with us tonight but wasn't able to. So we'll have a look at that video now. Well, hi John. Thanks for joining us tonight on video to share at our 10-year Thanksgiving dinner a bit about your experience of training with Vocational Bible College. You began our training in our third year of training students and to help equip you to serve God in your life and so that you might know Him better. And it's great that you can share a little bit of that experience with us tonight. Can you share with us, though, you didn't start training with Vocational Bible College, you actually went elsewhere first. Can you share a little bit about why you wanted to pursue training to help you in serving God in your life?
Well, Andrew, thanks for having me, and g'day everyone. I hope you're having a great evening, and sorry can't be there. Andrew, to answer your question, I think the guys who discipled me from the very beginning of my Christian life, they just made it the norm. That ministry was the norm. Reading the Bible one-to-one with people, teaching scripture in primary schools or whatever it is, that just became the norm. And so one of the things I wanted to do in my early Christian life was to learn more about Jesus and the Bible, and also just learn about more how I could teach and others in that as well. I decided that I should go to Bible college at some point in time. I tried in a few academic colleges. One in particular, I kind of lasted only a few weeks. I just could not understand what they were talking about, training, and I thought that actually I'm just not built for theological training.
Well, you are the very sort of person that we started Vocational Bible College for, because we know that not everybody is a big reader, doesn't come into contact with as many of the words that people who do like reading come into. You're a trader, you're practical. And so you were encouraged to try Vocational Bible College. How did your experience with us compare to your experiences with those earlier experiences of Bible College?
Yeah, so they were completely different, Andrew. So I was a tradie, as you've just mentioned. For 20 years, I was in the printing industry, and then I changed careers and ran my own commercial window cleaning business, and even being trained in that new industry that I was working. It was a hands-on, side-by-side kind of learning atmosphere. Less about reading books and more about doing. And so when I got to VBC, it fit so well. It was a perfect fit for me because it was the kind of training that I'd always done.
Can you tell us, having done that training and some more ministry in church, what you're up to now and how it's going?
About 3 years ago, came up to move down to the Illawarra, where we have opened and the doors of a church, an Anglican church in the area of Wirrallah North, which is a little housing commission area.
Yeah, great. And what does ministry look like for you in a week in that community as you seek to start a church?
People in that area need to build trust with you, and that's through relationship. And so I spent about 40% of my week in the community, which kind of like on the ground, which is quite a lot. So I don't sit in my office a lot, apart from writing the sermon. And it's really about serving the community, growing friendships, relationships, and networks with leaders in that community.
Yeah, so you're building relationships with people in the community, and and what opportunities do you have to open the Bible with people?
Yeah, so I think the work that's been done in the community, we really see that as people from the community come to church each week, and from there, we certainly share the gospel through preaching each week. But what we also do, we have our main focus at church is to train up our Christians to read the Bible one-to-one with people that come to church. So it's a hard, slow road where I'm finding that we're actually having to retrain Christians in the idea that one-to-one discipleship is valuable and important. But as we grow little teams of people who are then asking those new or not yet Christians to come in, read the Bible with them, and do all of life with them. And so, yeah, that's our end goal is to be a church that has one-to-one discipleship as its big focus.
How did your training at Vocational Bible College help prepare you for this ministry?
Yeah, so I think, Andrew, one of the main ways is that the practical aspect of learning at VBC means that you're putting all of the subject material that you're doing into practice, whether it's evangelism or a New Testament subject or an Old Testament subject. You're putting those things into practice each week that you're at college. And the work that I was doing through my MTS apprenticeship as well was really helping me to put those things into practice and learn the practical side of ministry as I was learning with you.
Finally, just as we finish up, what can we be praying for you in your ministry as it's going a bit over a year old now? What can we pray for you?
Pray for me. I'm reading the Bible with 4 guys at the moment. One's not a Christian, 3 are, and I'm training the 3 to read the Bible with other men in our community and in our church. And so I'd just like you guys to pray that we can remain a church that welcomes people like Jesus does, not with judgment, but in love, that they might come to know him and have a relationship with him. That would be 2 wonderful prayers for us.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, John. So encouraging to see how God has worked in your life, prepared you for this ministry. Thanks for sharing. We'll be praying for you tonight, and thank you for sharing with us now.
And praise God for VBC, mate. What a wonderful ministry. See you later.
Thanks, John. Bye-bye.
Yes, this is Joseph from Kenya. VBC has really encouraged me. It has equipped me for the work of the Lord. I started with certificate. I'm now doing diploma. I am really equipped.
Oh, some of the things that have been super helpful in studying Old Testament with VBC has just been the way it's almost like the mystery of Job and Ecclesiastes has been unveiled, and to be able to see how that clearly deals with pain and suffering and all those things that we don't necessarily understand very well. It's just helped me to become clearer on that. And what I love about it is that I can now go and use that to help other people who are struggling with different aspects of life and different forms of suffering that they're in the middle of.
Yeah, I love that our God is just been so consistent throughout the ages, and that He's not only loved us, He's been so faithful to us that no matter what happens, like nothing, if He's chosen us to be His children, nothing can separate us from Him. And that speaks through in the Old Testament all the way through to the New Testament. And when Jesus died on the cross and He rescued and restored and redeemed us as well, that all of His promises are all fulfilled through Jesus.
Yeah, look, coming to, I guess, the midway point, looking at wisdom literature. One of the things just in recent weeks that has really been helpful for me is considering how, we can have a sense of wonder and awe at God in His good creation. So that's like far more than just knowledge or intellect, but that we can have this sense of wonder towards God. And so I've actually just been enjoying admiring God and seeing Him in His creation. And that's something that I would say is wisdom.
One thing that I've loved about VBC is the awesome opportunity to work in a ministry context, whether it be church or school, and the flexibility of VBC to make that happen. Having mentors has been really fruitful in my ministry journey.
Hello, I'm Kim. In preaching class today, I was encouraged and reminded that giving a Bible talk is not reliant on me having eloquent words, but that God's word itself is powerful for salvation and it transforms people.
So there's a few testimonies from students who've been doing training with us this year and the things that God has been encouraging and helping them to grow in. I'd like to invite Hao Meng up. Hao Meng is one of our students. This year he lives in Wollongong and attends Wollongong Baptist Church, where he helps lead a migrant congregation. Please welcome Hao Meng. Hao Meng, can you tell us where you're from and tell us about your family?
I'm from Myanmar, and I have 4 siblings. And we live, me, my elder sister, and me in Wollongong. Number 3 is in USA, and my youngest brother and my parents are refugee in Malaysia. I have a very beautiful one wife. We come together, so we live with my wife and me.
Thank you. Now, you're helping to lead the Burmese congregation at Wollongong Baptist Church. English is your second language, and yet you were encouraged to do your training in English because the second and third generation Burmese people in Australia would need to have the Bible taught to them in English because they wouldn't necessarily still be able to speak your language. So you've come to VBC and you get some help with your training from your mentor Steve in your church. Can you share with us how VBC is helping you in your ministry and your walk with Jesus?
Yes, incredible. This training which VBC been beneficially for my ministry and personal as well, working with Jesus, and also through English is my second language. So I found that this training is equipping me to be connect with the next generation Burmese people in Australia, and improve my English too. Before now not too good, but before quite worse. And young people, I preach them, and then after finish, hi guys, do you understand me my English? Yes, but not right. So not too good. But VBC equipped me my English too, and our mentor Steve is I having Steve as my mentor has been quite valuable. He provide guidance and encourage me, helping me understand the course material better and apply his ministry. His support has made clear and empowering. He come every week, every Wednesday, sitting together, sometimes 2 hours, 3 hours. Oh man, what do you learn on Monday? This one. Do you understand this one? And not too long ago, we learned, teach us about sandwich. So I'm a bit confused. What is in the middle? What is the top and the bottom? So mentor explains me again. So very very helpful. And I do thank you very much, my mentor Steve. Yes, and this training, learning a lot, like how to read the Bible and how when I should apply, like the picture there, and then go to Jesus and then apply. So if we not go there and then the cross, we apply straight away. This is not right. So learn a lot, and then I teach them in the ministry, and also how to give the Bible study and which one is important. As I said before, what is in the middle, in the sandwich, and the top and the bottom. So these VBCs are very very helpful for me, for my personal knowledge, and then in the ministry as well.
Thank you very much for sharing, Hao Mung. And we'll be praying for you and your ministry at Wollongong Baptist Church with the Burmese congregation as we finish our deserve. Thank you for coming and sharing. Maddie, can we send people out for coffees yet, or do they need a few more minutes? All right, thank you. We will go to the next slide while we wait to find out about coffees. So you have heard about the Reaching Everyday People workshop. I'd like to share with you about the workshop that we're running this year on the 28th of June, called to One Body, Making Every Effort for Unity in Diverse Communities, is what we're thinking about this year. And we're really delighted to have 3 people presenting. John is going to be opening up Ephesians 4:1-6, where Paul exhorts the Christians in Ephesus to make every effort for unity and to show humility. Evelyn Hibbard is going to be sharing about how to seek unity by making friendships with strangers. And Simon Gillam is going to be helping us think about how we do culture in our churches that's welcoming for all. And I'm really looking forward to hearing what Simon has to share, because he's been thinking a lot about the book culture in our churches and how that can exclude so many people. And yet for most of the life of the church and God's people, Israel in the Old Testament, most people couldn't read, and so discipleship happened without requiring people to read books. And so how can we recapture some of that discipleship that happens without books to be more inclusive of those that don't find reading easy? So that's what we'll be doing this year at the Reaching Everyday People workshop. We're going to watch a video now from Cole Adamson, who isn't able to be here tonight.
Thank you so much for coming to the 10-year anniversary dinner of Vocational Bible College. My name is Col Adamson. I've actually worked with Andrew Beddoe for about 7 of those 10 years, having left a fairly long-standing ministry at St Thomas's Anglican Church at North Sydney. One of the many things I value about Vocational Bible College is that we are able to reach and also bring in, train, equip, and affirm in ministry and send out those who are everyday people for whom Bible college in the academic sense is probably not their style of learning. It's been such a great blessing to see people from not only around Australia, but also from overseas join us. And this has been able to occur because we've gone online. Who would have thought there would be a plus in doing that? It's also been a great encouragement to me to see people for whom English is not their first language coming along, learning, listening, growing, and gaining greater confidence in serving the Lord in their ministry sphere. In addition, it's been a great personal encouragement to see First Nations ministry training among our Indigenous people in Australia start up, and us having a partnership with them in that. Well, thank you for your partnership with us in Vocational Bible College. We serve the Lord together and we seek His blessing into the future. Thank you.